This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Stick around to find out how you can get 68% off their service. Hello everyone, I'm PJiggles and oh my god, Steve is in Smash! Sorry, I'm PJiggles and welcome back to more useless Smash facts. After the first 5 episodes, I took a little bit of a break from the mainline entries in this series, but I'm back now and I want to kickstart episode 6 with some facts about Steve, because he's finally in Smash and I couldn't be happier. Out of all the DLC characters Smash Ultimate has at the moment, Steve is by far the one that I had the most history with at the time of them being announced for Smash, so naturally I already know a lot of facts related to Minecraft. We'll start with those today and after that move on to some non-Minecraft related facts. Maybe. First off, I went through the painstaking process of recreating the snowy Tundra version of the stage in Minecraft, to see if there are any interesting little tidbits about the Smash version, or any mistakes. I found quite a few of each actually, but I'll just list off some of the more interesting ones I know for now. First off, some of the snow on the stage around the torches and lanterns should be melting over time, since those produce heat, but they don't. Which is interesting because in the background of the stage, which is just a screenshot, the snow around the torches does melt. Real quick, I gotta mention something that'll be important to the upcoming fact. For those who don't know, there are two main versions of Minecraft, Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. To keep it short, Java Edition is what's on PC and Bedrock Edition is what's on consoles and PC. The two versions have quite a few differences between them, and Bedrock Edition is designed for stuff like crossplay between consoles, but it's generally pretty agreed upon to be inferior to Java Edition in basically every way, and I agree. Anyways, the reason why I was bringing that up is because on the Snowy Tundra version of the stage, there is some grass and flowers that don't occupy the same space as the layer of snow, which seems to indicate that the stage is based on Java Edition, since in that version, plants can't occupy the same space as snow. On Bedrock Edition, it can. But it seems like they missed a small patch of grass in the background here under the tree, since it's occupying the same space as some snow, even though there shouldn't be any snow there in the first place since it's under a tree. Also, at first I thought it was a mistake that the dirt blocks on the stage don't update the grass blocks, but then I realized those are all probably coarse dirt blocks, which never update the grass blocks. Those don't generate naturally in any of the biomes on the Smash stage, but at least it would explain why they don't grow grass. Coarse dirt and regular dirt have a slightly different tint from each other, but the dirt blocks in the center of the stage, that's probably coarse dirt, does have a different tint from the dirt blocks Steve places down, while it seems to have practically the same tint as the regular dirt blocks on the side of the stage. I doubt this is something they actually considered and did on purpose, but if they did, that's a super cool small detail. The dirt doesn't seem to update on any version of the stage though, and the darkness thing is probably just the actual stage being programmed way differently than the blocks Steve places down. So it's probably just me looking way too deep into things. Anyways, this stage is very interesting and very detailed, but I don't want to talk about it all video. In the future, I'll probably recreate the other biomes in Minecraft, and if I can find enough little details in them, I might make a video entirely based on that stage. But for now, let's move on to the main attraction, the character, Steve. And Alex. And Zombie. And Enderman. Now before I start talking about Steve facts, since he's such an insanely popular character, a ton of facts have already been discovered and shared about him. So I will probably name a few facts you already know about, but I want to cover as much as possible, so please bear with me as we filter out the more well-known Steve facts. As the guy who literally studies every DLC character's trivia as they come out for his job, I can confidently tell you that Steve's the second most detailed DLC fighter so far, after Joker, so there's plenty to talk about here, as you've probably already noticed from the video's length. Consider this episode the Steve special. Steve has a ton of cool little details in places like his animations or his sound design. For example, if you climb any ladder, it will actually play the ladder climbing sounds directly from Minecraft. Also, if you stop moving on a ladder, he will enter his crouching animation, which is yet another nod to Minecraft, as crouching, or sneaking as it's actually called in Minecraft, will let you stay put on a ladder without automatically going down. Also, speaking of the sneaking animation, not only is that what his crouch and crawl is based on, it's also what his ledge teetering animation is based on. Because in Minecraft, sneaking would make it so you can't walk off ledges, which is obviously what he's doing if he's standing on the ledge. Another fun sound effect Easter egg is that if your fishing rod bobber from your grab hits any water surface, the sound effect from Minecraft plays when you get a bite, not the sound of the bobber hitting the water, because that doesn't make a sound in Minecraft. Almost every character has a unique animation for charging the super scope. They kinda wobble up and down a bit, it's nothing special. But with Steve, he's stationary, as you might expect, but the super scope moves up and down a little bit. I think this might be a reference to how bows work in Minecraft. There, your body wouldn't really move while charging it, but the bow and arrow would bob up and down a bit, exactly like the super scope in Smash. Then again, the same thing happens with the gust blows because it's the same animation, and while shooting the Daybreaker, so I don't know. One thing that is for sure a cool nod is that if Steve eats a food item, it'll play the quick eating sound followed by the burp sound from Minecraft. Sadly, if you eat a food item that's a drink, it doesn't play the drinking sound from Minecraft. Something you may have discovered while playing as Steve is that if he falls from a great enough height, the damage sound plays from Minecraft. You don't actually take damage in Smash though. Considering that sound effect is in the game, it's a shame it doesn't sometimes play while taking damage. Steve and Alex also blink in Smash, which they only do in Minecraft Bedrock Edition. This is because Bedrock Edition has a dedicated option for eyes in a character customizer menu that's also exclusive to Bedrock Edition, which allows the game to know where your eyes are. In Java Edition, the way you customize your character is through skins, which are basically just images that look like this. Let me upscale it a little bit. You create yourself and you can select in the game's launcher to determine what your character looks like. They're basically just textures that you can easily customize. Zombie and Enderman never blink, by the way. This is because the Enderman's eyes are an important trait of his character, and Zombie, well, he doesn't have eyes. Steve and Alex have blinked in stuff like official trailers for the game, but those aren't the models they used for Smash. Speaking of models, one of the funniest things I learned while doing research for this episode is that Steve's character texture in Smash is literally ripped straight from Minecraft. The one you see on screen now is actually upscaled by me quite drastically. Here's what it looks like in actual size. The character's textures are so small in fact that I can fit all the alternate costumes on screen at the same time, multiple times over. For comparison, here's what Mario's textures look like for just his default costume. I can't even fit them all on screen without downscaling them. Speaking of Steve's textures, they actually did change it a little bit. Here's what Steve's textures look like in Minecraft compared to Smash. Well, first I should mention that they actually used the classic player model in Smash. They changed his textures a little bit in 2009, very early in the game's life. The only thing they actually changed is that they got rid of his beard. Yes, that's a beard, not a smile. To be honest, I can't see it as a beard, I've always seen it as a smile. My guess as to why they used the classic model in Smash is because that's the version of Steve they use in those promotional videos I mentioned earlier, and nowadays that's where you see Steve most often. Anyways, back to what I was talking about, I'm gonna be showing the Smash textures for a bit, and you've probably already noticed that they put them inside a gray square, so just keep in mind that from here on out, all the Steve related textures from Smash that I show have been edited by me to remove that gray box. It just looks a bit nicer. So yeah, they did change Steve's textures a bit, most notably that they made the whole thing darker, and also that they made things like the shirt and pants have the same tint all throughout, instead of having the colors on the side be darker like it is in Minecraft. The same goes for the Alex alts and the Zombie alt, by the way. They also made those darker while making the shirt and pants have the same color on all sides. However, they also changed one other thing with these alts, and some keen-eyed watchers may have already noticed it. This part right here. In Minecraft, this rectangle has the same color as his shirt, but in Smash it has the same color as his pants. Why, you may ask? Well, this part of the texture is used for his underside of his torso. You see, in Minecraft, if Steve or Alex or Zombie move their legs or crouches, you can see the underside of their torso, and since it has the same color as their shirt, or in Alex's case her pants, it looks like you can see inside of their shirts. So they fixed that in Smash. This little quirk is still present in Minecraft today, by the way, so I guess it's just a little error they never bothered to fix. Just for fun, here's Steve's Smash model with the Smash textures applied, and his Smash model with the Minecraft textures applied. You can clearly see how in Smash his shirt and pants have the same color on every side. Also keep in mind that this is without lighting from a stage or anything, which is why the Smash one looks so saturated. He naturally looks way better in Smash with its lighting engine and such. By the way, every character also has something called roughness maps, which are basically black and white textures which are applied to a model to give a sense of depth. For example, here's Mario without any textures applied, here he is with normal textures applied, and here he is with roughness textures also applied. It looks more 3D this way. Steve is one of only 2 characters in the game that doesn't have these roughness maps. Makes sense considering he's completely flat on all sides. And as you may have guessed already, Mr. Game & Watch is the other character without them. Also for these 2 alts, they don't need this part of the texture since they can just reuse this part. But what's really strange is that in the final Smash version of these textures, which is only used for turning their eyes yellow, Tennis Steve has Alex's pants and arms and a little bit of Steve's arms. And the Scottish Steve alt has these weird black bars at the bottom. For some reason. I don't even know what they are. Anyways, the last texture related thing I want to talk about is with Enderman. They obviously changed his textures quite a bit since they have way different proportions in Minecraft, but they seem to have done the opposite as with the other alts, in that they actually made the sides have a different shade of black all throughout, which is the opposite of how it is in Minecraft. Also, they seem to have left in a lot of useless stuff with this one, like the textures for their mouths, which don't show up at all in Smash. The final Steve related fact I want to talk about is probably the biggest one. Dirt. You're probably already aware of this, but I still want to talk about it and go in a lot of detail because there is a lot to talk about here. So normally the blocks Steve can place are dirt, oak planks, stone, and blocks of iron. On some stages, the dirt is replaced by something else. On Super Happy Tree, Yoshi's Story, Skyworld, Magicant, and Living Room, the dirt is replaced with white wool. On Mushroom Kingdom, Mushroomy Kingdom, stupid name, Dreamland GB, Arena Ferox, Tortimer Island, and Coliseum, it's replaced with sand. It doesn't fall though like it does in Minecraft. And only on Summit it's replaced with ice. This also goes for all the Omega and Battlefield versions of the stages, and yeah, they all function the exact same, so the change is purely cosmetic. But I really like it. If you're playing with Stage Morph, you can't place down any blocks while the stage is morphing. And if you stage morph between 2 stages with different forms of dirt, the UI will update at the same moment the song name appears in the top left. Funnily enough, you can start placing the new materials slightly before it updates. Also, while I went through every stage to check what material they have instead of dirt, I also checked what every surface in those stages give you to see if I could find any interesting oddities. And unsurprisingly, I found a lot of them. So buckle up. After this, we're finally moving away from Steve related facts. First, I gotta let you know there are 5 types of surfaces that give Steve a different list of items. Those being dirt, which gives you dirt and these materials, wood, which gives you these 5, stone, which gives you these, iron, which gives you these, and finally other, which is used only for Battlefield, Small Battlefield, Big Battlefield, Final Destination, all Omega forms, and all Battlefield forms, and gives you every possible material. And every type of surface always gives you the same list of materials in the same order. It's not randomized at all. The metal side platforms on Brinstar give you dirt. There's a small layer of slime on it, but come on, that's totally iron. The wooden blocks with a metal frame on Mushroomy Kingdom give you stone. That's very strange. WarioWare Inc. and its platforms give you dirt. I mean, I know it's kinda hard to tell what this material is exactly, but when I look at it, I think of anything but dirt. The panels on the floor kinda look like they're bolted on there, so why not iron? The carpet on the stone floor on the second form of Castle Siege gives you dirt. I mean, I guess the carpet is wool, which is soft, but I mean, it's a stone floor. Similarly, the carpet on Dracula's castle also gives you dirt. In my opinion, this stage should have just had the dirt replaced with wool, since there's no actual dirt or anything on this stage, and when you're not standing on the carpet, you get stone. It would have been really funny if a dark stage like Dracula's castle gave you wool. What I don't understand is why Shadow Moses Island doesn't have ice blocks instead of dirt. I mean, in its source game, it's located in Alaska, and in Smash, you can very clearly see that it's a snowy area. I mean, it's even snowing and everything. The metal grate in the middle of the pirate ship isn't iron, which isn't a huge deal, but I was expecting it since on Delfino Plaza, the small manhole covers are iron. Also, speaking of Delfino Plaza, I'm pretty surprised the dirt isn't sand on this stage, considering it's an island. You even land on sand multiple times in this stage, and you only land on a grassy area once, and even then that's stone covered with grass. Extremely similar cases on Woohoo Island. You literally never land on a grassy area in this stage, but you do land on a beach with sand, and the stage is an island. So again, I don't understand why this stage doesn't have sand instead of dirt. And most surprising of all, I'm honestly shocked that the dirt on Gerudo Valley isn't sand. I mean, look at this area. It's a valley that leads to Gerudo Desert. Of all stages that doesn't have sand, this one absolutely should have been one that does. On the contrary, you never go to a sand area in Dreamland GB, but you do go to grassy areas. A lot. So I don't get why this stage has sand instead of dirt. There's a segment that gives you wood and 2 sections that give you stone, but everything else gives you sand. I guess Game Boy screens are made of sand now. The entire Paper Mario stage gives you wood. Makes sense, it's all paper and cardboard. However, when the stage transitions to the Bowser's Castle section, you can actually briefly get dirt. That's because there's temporarily a sand floor. So then why does this stage have sand instead of dirt? The boxing ring in the boxing ring stage gives you wood. Ouch. I would have expected it to give you dirt, considering boxing rings are normally made of a soft material. You know, the same material that the sword fighting platform on Woohoo Island is made of, which does give you dirt even though it should be sand. Super Mario Maker is a pretty interesting stage. Aside from the layout always being randomized, it also has a gimmick that the visual theme of the stage switches during the match, between Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, and Super Mario Bros. U styles. What Steve mines from the ground doesn't change when the theme changes, which is a shame, but it's understandable. Every material is obtainable on this stage, you just gotta get lucky with what surfaces get generated. However, 2 extremely weird oddities I found is with pipes and treadmills, because I've had times where pipes gave me iron as expected, but also times they gave me dirt? Same thing happens with treadmills. I've had times where they gave me iron, and times where they gave me dirt. I really don't understand why. I tested many times, but it doesn't seem to be based on theme or anything, and I couldn't find any other cases like these. It seems to be completely random. Very strange. On one of the Arena Ferox layouts, there's a platform that's made of alternating wood and stone segments. This entire platform gives you stone, which is weird considering the same type of wood is found elsewhere on the stage, and there it does give you wood. Now in that spirit, let's do a quick lightning round of the remaining 3 surfaces I found where I really think it should have counted as a different material for Steve. The Skyloft platform is clearly made of metal and yet it gives you dirt. Galop's Pokemon League gives you stone even though it's clearly made of steel, especially the side platforms of the water transformation. I don't actually really mind here because the edges of the stage are made of iron, so the floor is really made of 2 materials, which is cool, but still the center of the stage looks like metal and not stone. Now Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 also both have edges that are clearly metal, yet the entire stage gives you stone, not counting the transformations of course. Huge shame considering these are tournament legal stages, and it would have been cool to see that affect Steve players at a higher level. And again, very similarly, the platforms on Mementos are also clearly made of metal, and yet they give you stone. One thing you may have already noticed is that pretty much every fantasy material defaults to being dirt, stuff like the walls on Mementos, Weird Mario platforms, and the platform of light thing on Garrigmok Monastery. This also includes the Void, aka the floor when stages like Reset Bomb Factory and Castle Siege are mid-transition. The 15 materials and 2 objects you can stand on in custom stages actually all give you a corresponding material. Most of them aren't too surprising. Grass, dirt, sand, rubber, denim, carpet, yarn, sponge, bouncy rubber and ice all give dirt. Wood and paper give you wood, marble and lava give you stone, and steel is the only one that gives you iron. The 2 placeable blocks, those being explosive blocks and bomb blocks, both give you dirt. Whenever you play on a custom stage, your dirt always seems to be dirt. I made 3 stages entirely made of sand, yarn, and ice to see if my dirt would be replaced with sand, wool, or ice, but nope, it's always dirt. And finally, I tested what materials all the extra stages that you can't pick for normal matches give you, and they are as follows. The online practice room gives you dirt, the training stage gives you dirt, the classic mode bonus stage gives you dirt, the home run contest platform gives you dirt, the Ganon Fight Arena gives you stone, the Mark's Fight Arena gives you stone, the Rathalos Fight Arena gives you dirt, the Gallium Fight Arena gives you iron, the Dracula Fight Arena gives you dirt. The Giga Bowser fight is literally just Final Destination, so it actually gives you every material there is, just like regular Final Destination. And the last three are really weird. The World of Light Final Battle Climb stage, the Boss Rush Lobby stage, and the Final Battle stage are all variants of Final Destination, so you would probably assume they all belong to the other category like normal Final Destination, but they all give you dirt. My guess is that they didn't set a material for these stages, and when they don't do that, it defaults to dirt, because there's really no reason why these three stages shouldn't be the same material as Final Destination. Well, that was an entire video's worth of Steve related facts. Sorry for going on so long, but Minecraft is really something special to me, and I couldn't be happier to have an excuse to talk about it on my channel. Anyways, coming up for the next fact, Peach, Jigglypuff, Bayonetta, Byleth, Pokemon Trainer, and Steve, I mean it's not just about him, are the only characters in the game that don't just simply have two idle animations. Every character of course moves a little bit while standing still, because they're breathing or whatever, and after a random period of time, they will all do something called an idle animation, where they strike a little pose or check their weapons or something like that, and almost all of them have two unique ones. Jigglypuff has only one idle animation where she bounces to the left, Steve just straight up doesn't have an idle animation, Byleth does have two idle animations, but they're split between the male and female variants, so either way, whenever you're playing as them, you can always only do one idle animation. Pokemon Trainer has 4 idle animations, with both male and female variants having 2 each, so the character itself has 4 idle animations, and in case you're wondering, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard all have 2 animations each, so even if you were to count them all together, the character has a whopping 10 idle animations. Peach just has 4 idle animations. I don't really know why, but she's the only character to just have more than 2 on her own for some reason. Not even Daisy has 4, she just has 2. And lastly, Bayonetta has only 1 idle animation. She has a second pseudo idle animation where if you stand still for a while after attacking, she will put her arms back down. But either way, that's not an idle animation in the sense that every other one is. You gotta do something before that one can play. A funny little quirk of Pit that I should bring up is that one of his 2 idle animations has him splitting the Palutena bow, and then it stays like that. If the bow was already split when he starts this animation, he just does the exact same motion, except he's holding both ends. So either way, the bow will be split afterwards. And the same goes for Dark Pit, because his 2 idle animations are completely identical to Pit's. Anyways, as some of you probably already know, it's a running trend in this series that I post a fact like this on Twitter and let people guess the answer, and of course I did the same for this fact too. The first person to get it right this time around was the Lulu Boyo art. Normally I only give a shout out to the first person to get the question right, but this time I also want to shout out Stone Kazoo for being the first person to get it right and explain it in detail, something the Lulu Boyo didn't really do. So congratulations to you both. You win absolutely nothing, except a nice job from me. The score is now 6-0 for you all. I'll get my dub someday. In case you're wondering what the idle animation counts were for the previous Smash games, in Smash 64 there weren't any idle animations, no character had one. In Melee, these 8 characters had no idle animations, these 10 had 1, these 6 had 2, Peach already had 4, and Zelda had 3. In Brawl, Zelda still had 3, Peach still had 4, and every other character had 2 idle animations, except Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff had no idle animations. Instead, the animation where she turns around always plays after the same amount of hops, so really it was just part of her normal idle pose. This was also how it worked for her in Melee, by the way. And finally, in Smash 4, Bayonetta has the same quirk she does in Ultimate, 1 idle animation and the pseudo idle animation after attacking. Zelda still had 3. Peach had 4, and Jigglypuff still had the same quirk she had in Melee and Brawl, 0 idle animations. Instead, the one she has was always part of her regular idle pose. Every other character had 2 idle animations. So yes, in Ultimate, they cut one of Zelda's idle animations when she got the redesign, and finally gave Jigglypuff an idle animation that actually plays at random and isn't part of her idle pose. The last thing I want to talk about today has to do with parries, or perfect shields as it's officially called. Some characters have some interesting poses when they parry. Here are a few of the more interesting ones I found. Kirby's parry pose is extremely similar to his shielding pose in Kirby Superstar, albeit with his arm a little lower. Ryu and Ken's parry animation is basically the exact same as in Street Fighter 3, even down to the finger placement. Similarly, though the games Terry is from typically don't have a parry mechanic, a crossover game he's featured in does, namely Capcom vs SNK 2. If you choose the P-groove playstyle in that game, you're able to parry, and Terry's parry animation in that game is almost exactly like the one in Smash. The arms and legs are positioned a little bit differently, but this is probably where they got the pose from. Joker's eyes turning yellow is extremely similar to how his eyes turn yellow in the cutscene where he first summons his persona. I'm absolutely sure this probably wasn't intentional, but it's still worth bringing up, especially since the expression he makes is almost identical to the one in Smash when he parries. Banjo and Kazooie's pose is a reference to the statues in Banjo-Kazooie which act as extra lives. You can even see a few in the background of the Mumbo's Mountain stage. And lastly, I already mentioned this before, but Meta Knight is the only character whose eyes turn red instead of yellow, since his eyes are normally already yellow. The reason I'm pointing it out again is because since then I've learned that the texture they use for the eyes when you parry is the same texture as when you have a Final Smash ready. As we can see here, Meta Knight's eyes also turn red when your Final Smash is ready. Also, there's been a new character added whose eyes also don't turn yellow while they parry, and that's Steve. No wait, I mean Zombie. Yeah, he's back, I'm sorry. Zombie doesn't have eyes, which means that his eyes don't change color at all when he parries, which also means they don't change color when he has his Final Smash ready. Every other Steve alt's eyes do change, by the way. This makes Steve's Zombie alt the only alt in the entire game whose eyes don't glow when they parry or have a Final Smash ready. But then again, Ridley's eyes are already yellow, but they don't change color at all, even though Meta Knight's eyes are also yellow and his turn red when he parries. And now on to the actual last fact for today. Did you know that Smash Ultimate used to have an entire game mode that's exclusive to Japan? It was an online mode where you would build up points to climb a ranked ladder, and the highest ranking players could be invited to an official Nintendo tournament. Nowadays, this mode has made its way over to the rest of the world whenever it is available, but it still kinda sucks to have content you can't access just because of where you live, right? Well, luckily outside of Smash, that's never a problem, thanks to NordVPN. And that's the greatest segue I'll ever pull off. Fun PJiggles fact, I'm a huge fan of the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but it's pretty hard to recommend it to my friends because it's not available on Netflix in America, which I'm assuming most of you are from, if my analytics are correct. Well, with NordVPN, you can open up this handy little map here, click on one of the markers in Europe, I'm feeling Dutch today, because I am, which then makes your computer think you live in Europe, refresh the page, and boom! Just that easily, I have access to every show that's only available on Netflix in Europe, including Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But NordVPN does more than just allow you to access region-locked content online. It also encrypts your data by basically putting a giant indestructible shield around all your personal information that hackers everywhere sell to businesses that send you highly targeted ads. You'd be surprised how often this happens. It also protects your data in public places like coffee shops or anywhere else, allows you to have up to 6 connections at the same time, and much more. You also get this map that you can print out, slap on the wall, I don't know. If you're still on the fence about it, you can visit nordvpn.com/PJiggles or click the link at the top of this video's description and use the code PJiggles to get 68% off, which makes it only $3.15 per month. And for a limited time only, every purchase of a 2-year plan will come with an additional 4 months for free, which is a great deal, but if you don't like it, they also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video, don't forget to check them out in the description below. And yeah, that truly is the end of the video. I'm sorry that 98% of this video was Steve related. I tried to spice it up a bit near the end, but I'm just way too excited for Steve being in Smash. He's been my most wanted realistic character for a very long time now. My most wanted has been Geno since Brawl now, but I really don't think that's ever gonna happen, so I am more than happy with Steve. Anyways, would you believe me if I told you that I cut almost half the Steve related facts I had planned for this video? They're almost all related to his stage, so I'm seriously thinking about making another video that's entirely focused on that stage or something. If I do decide to make that, I hope I'll see you there. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, because it does help my channel grow. Subscribe if you really liked it, and if you like this video so much that you tattoo my face on your arm, maybe you can hit the bell too. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.